So, my friends, we are doing a self-inquiry, and once we cover this topic, we will find there are 10 different ways, 10 or little more different ways to remove that ignorance. This topic, 10 different ways of removing the ignorance, has been taught in a master and a seeker tradition almost 5,000 years ago. And, that means that we have covered the introductory teaching, where we know what is discernment, what is dispassion, what is ignorance, and a long list that we have covered. What is the conventional methods to purify the mind? Then we will start studying Gita. But why this long journey? Don't you get upset? Don't you feel that, it's too much? I don't want to it. Enough is enough. That is your ignorance. That is your ignorance. We get some ideas. So that is what we are doing. So last session we were covering about the likes and dislikes. What I like, I want to do it. It may not be right. What I dislike, I do not want to do it. It may be right. Attending the session is right, but I dislike it. You are doing it. So it means we have to live into that state of awareness where we can pinpoint the likes and dislikes that is going on in the background of the mind. And the moment you pinpoint, you can dissolve it there and then. Our entire human life, especially the mental and the emotional expression, is based on likes and dislikes. And behind that likes and dislikes, there is one phrase in the mind that is always present. What is that? I want. And that results into ignorance. Now, why I want? I want is associated with the likes and dislikes. Yes, throughout the day. How can you say, I want to accept you, praise you, adore you, appreciate you because I like it? Now, what about dislike? I want to avoid you. Still, the I want is there. I want to avoid you, reject you, ignore you because I dislike you. So, how the mind is working? Mind is working with I want. Are you clear? I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. And this I want from the world outside, from the relations, from the people, is the cause of the greater ignorance. In both likes and dislikes, the mind keeps on singing, keeps on singing. I want, I want, I want. I want to avoid you and you are in front of me. Do you see that? So something happening in the mind. It has less to do with the attraction at the physical level or repulsion at the physical level with a particular thing, an idea. And then we start we imagine, I have a negative vibe about it. No, it is in your mind. No one is negative. We say, no, I have a negative vibe. They claim that they have become a great mystic. We all are human beings after all. Don't get carried away by them. Be very clear, rational in life. Now, what we understood, what happens, that we need to understand. From what exactly is the cause of the likes and dislikes? We covered briefly in the last week. Likes and dislikes is depends on the joy and the sorrow. That is what we covered. That this person, this event, this relation, this incident gives me the joy. Hence, I like it. So the likes and dislikes are caused by the joy and the sorrow. But from where the joy and sorrow in the world comes? Joy and the sorrow. Oh, your presence makes me happy. So you are the word. So word is a reality for me. And that is why. Are you getting it? It's not very difficult. So that joy and the sorrow comes from mind giving a reality status to the world outside. How can you say, you are my honey, I love you so intensively, deeply? That is why you are going down. I love you so deeply. But why I love you? I love you expression is okay, but I love you so deeply because my mind has given a reality status to you. So I am dependent on you. So you are ready to exploit me. Don't you love me? Can you buy me this? Do you see that? Can you get me this? Oh, today I have earned $1 million. Hari says, "Don't you love me?" Now he has listened. He has heard, or she has heard. Ah, that this guy has earned $1 million. So, honey, don't you love me? Yes, I love you. So let us go to buy me a car. Exploitation. The moment I become aware of the game, the mind is playing in ignorance. You need to be simply aware. You see likes and dislikes, joy and the sorrow. From the joy and the sorrow, reality status, and the reality status. Now, why this reality status is given? The reality status should be given to any object or a person that is independent, that is not changing, that is all pervading, that is pure conscious. Anything of the name and the form has to change its status. And this is what the journey of the self-inquiry is. So once we live into that state of awareness through contemplation and reflection, go back again. Your mind dislikes, and it is right, but you don't do it. So what happens? What happens? What happens? Do you experience anxiety, stress, struggle enters the mind silently in the back door? And it will manifest at time, location, relation when you never want it. Did you understand this point? It's very important to understand. You dislike someone, it's okay. Event has come and event has gone. But that impression is already stored in your mind because of the likes and dislikes. It has already created an impression of joy and sorrow. Go back, joy and the sorrow. The mind says, this weird guy is touching, nothing is real outside of name and form. But I have seen the reality because I experienced the joy and the sorrow. I experienced the hate and the love. Those impressions will trigger in a different situation, in a different location, in a different event, and that is going to push you into the ignorance. So we'd have to live in that extraordinary awareness. Are you getting it? Say yes, even if you are not getting, no problem. This is the meaning of reaction, conflict, duality, problems in our life. I'm not going into detail. It happens with many people. Sometimes they chat with me privately, they send the email, and I understand that. Oh, first statement means this, second statement means this. I understand clearly. Sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't. They don't see any logic of what they write. I realize what they want to convey, hiding their likes and dislikes. Problems does not stop there, my friends. Because of this vicious cycle of likes and dislikes, joy and the sorrow, reality, status, to the world of name in the form, harm, conflict, stress, struggle enters into my life. Again, I'm repeating, you have to contemplate and reflect. And mind cannot work without likes and dislikes. So, what the self inquiry does, when you contemplate and reflect like this, by the journey of the self inquiry, likes and dislikes die their natural death in you. You need not to do anything. The moment they die their natural death, you live in a higher level of awareness. If you live, think, and speak without the influence of the likes and dislikes will be always be there. But you are not dictated by it. So the whole day you will experience the inner calm and the peace. The joy is now coming from inside. It is not dependent on anything in the world. So we are approaching to the awakening. Remember, likes and dislikes caused by the joy and the sorrow caused by the delusion with the world outside. I'm using another word. Delusion means I give a reality state. Means you are an object of peace and happiness. Or car is an object of peace and happiness, or house is cause of peace and happiness. Beard is the cause of peace and happiness. One guy on the LinkedIn wrote to me that I was a monk and now I disrobed myself. I am no longer a monk. I'm helping the coaches to earn $20,000 a month. Who cannot be attracted. But I see such a contradiction. Once a monk, you are forever a monk. Once a monk, you are forever a monk. So it means your becoming a monk depends on your body and your robe. So he said, now I'm no longer a monk because I disrobed it. It is better to disrobe likes and dislikes based on the world outside. That is being a true monk. I wrote him directly. Sometimes I write. So even if they insert me, it's okay. They challenge me, it's okay. So remember this, likes and dislikes caused by the joy and the sorrow joy in the sorrow that I experience caused by the delusion with the world outside. Delusion with the world outside is giving a reality status to the world. Delusion. World outside, delusion. Mix them. Delusion plus the world outside, everything is real outside. So what happens? I like this, I'm not getting. Again, look at it, understand it clearly. I dislike it, and the guy is very near to me. So I'm harming myself. So reality status to the world means the real self is false. That is the problem. Are you getting? I'm adding one more thing. Reality status to the world. How that reality status to the world means the world plus delusion. Now that falsify what is my true nature. What is my true nature? Peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. But my mind has claimed delusion plus the world outside is real. So soulmate becomes soulmate. It is very easy. Who is doing it? I'm doing it. Why I'm doing it? Ignorance. What is the way to remove the ignorance? Self-inquiry. Highest level. Highest level of the self-inquiry. Highest level of moving to that state of knowing the real self is the self-inquiry. From where to reset and to restart, do you remember? Conventional approach. If we do not follow the conventional approach in our daily living, we live in ignorance 23 hours. 1 hour you listen to me and you are, normally people in our country, they say, I'm excited to listen to you. Please remain excited. Let me see how long you can remain excited in your life. The excitement goes down. Why it goes down? Because the mind has already given a reality status to the world. So you say, world is real, I cannot face. Enough is enough. I don't want to see your face. But that face is unreal. Sometimes people even do not want to see the beautiful faces because of the likes and dislikes. Suppose, I'm talking about the men who we are only 1, 2, 3, 4 men. If Miss Universe cheated you, will you love him? Love her. Because you have given a reality status. But that reality status can be dissolved by applying a conventional approach. Conventional approach is a common sense approach. Do you remember? Are you applying them in your daily life? If yes, then you have found many changes in your life. If not, the mind will return to the same old habit. I can tell. It will return to the old habit. You still will get the worries and anxiety and reaction, pain and the pleasure, because we are not connected to the world rightly, not contributing to the world rightly, not celebrating our life at every moment. So when we are not connecting, we are not contributing, we are not celebrating, impurities will gather, it will accumulate in the mind again. It is waiting for it because we have yet to remove the past impressions. So that is, that brings a tremendous change in your behavior, in your attitude, in your responses day by day, in your personal, professional, social life. That changes the entire perspective. Oh, you're living so, you can say outwardly you are living carelessly, but internally you are fully aware, alert. You don't want the mind to go to likes and dislikes because you know that will become an object of the joy and the sorrow, that will create a reality status to the world, that will put me to live my life in 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 ignorance. Oh my goodness, then it will create a lot of problems. Common sense approach, I said. Conventional approach, I use the word. It's a universal law. What it means, what it means by universal law, kindness, what it means by universal law, contributing to the others. Yesterday, I was telling this guy who returned to me after 4 years for a private lessons. That helps me maintain my livelihood. I don't want to be an influencer. There is no influence. I'm giving another understanding of what is this conventional approach, and I will repeat in the following session one or the other. You prepare a field, put the water, fertilizer, then you sow the seed. Seed is hidden. So the seed, the potential seed is hidden in every individual. Now compare side by side. Remember this all the time. Now the seed, now the farmer waits, suffers some time, and one day seed becomes a sapling. That perception, seeing that sapling, fills farmer with a joy. As the sapling grows, it gives you the stem, branches, it becomes a full grown tree, it gives you the flower and the fruits. Does the tree ask anything while growing and becoming a tree? It gives us this wood, it gives us the flower, it gives us the fruit. That is how we should understand the universal law. If I don't tune myself with the universal law, ignorance will continue, suffering will continue. This is the spirituality. Do you see? Mango tree says, I don't give you any mango to Stephen, but I give only to the devil. Is it possible? And that is related to likes and dislikes. I give all mangoes to Brandy. Brandy, come. I love you. That love is attachment. You recognize it. Unless we apply this conventional approach in our day-to-day life, it will this self-inquiry will not work because the self-inquiry will again You have to start with the likes and this. So what is going to happen when you are connecting and contributing and celebrating every moment? What is happening? You are the highest level of a seeker, and that seeker never fails. That seeker never fails. I was also comparing. It is very much possible here in our country. Sangeeta is there, so from India. It is not possible, yet it is not possible that, our boundaries of the homes are almost open. So I can say that 99.9% our boundaries in US are open with a belief in the trust that we are sharing the common boundary. Nobody will jump out and cause any attack. 1% exceptions are always there. It is not possible in India. We have to put 3 locks. We have to create a strong boundary that is also made up of the bricks. No, it's not criticism. So internally, the mind is aware of the universal laws. I meet you. Can I meet you with love and affection? No. Why no? Likes and dislikes. Remember, likes and dislikes. That causes a lot of problems to our life. Why likes and dislikes? I'm attached to something. The moment I am attacked, I am attacked. You may not think. You are already attacked. Attachment, because of the likes and dislikes, attack. An attack contains the element of repulsion also. So, common sense approach we have to apply. I must. What is the way to remember to allow the likes and dislikes to die its natural death? One day you do it and see what happens. You listen to this talk again and again, then start applying. I stood up. Why? I have to act. So whether that action is guided by the likes and dislikes, or I must have a motivation to act, or because it is right and good, I must do it. Because, so it means I am supposed to do what is right and good, not what I like or dislike. What I'm supposed to do, I must do it. What I'm not supposed to do, I should not do it. On this principle, now apply, understand that principle. I was talking about the boundaries and the borders of our homes. Not possible. Likes and dislikes will die its natural death when we do not follow the likes and dislikes. And mind follows what is right and good, not what I like and dislike. I do not do what I like or dislike, but what is right and good. Likes and dislikes die its natural death. That will trigger the mind to clean the objects that gives me the joy and the sorrow, and ultimately that will remove the delusion that this world is real. That is how we remove the ignorance. We settle in the knowledge, and when we settle in the knowledge, we change the entire life. You don't offer the mind to be agitated. Let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Being comfortable. Being comfortable. Oh, we start our session at 7:50, Christina, even though I have written at 8. And there is a reason I will explain later. So be ready at 7:50. Eyes are closed. You're comfortable. You look at the neck joint, feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. What I have said, do you remember? When I say look at the neck joint and feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The sensation, comfort, and is it at the subtle level? How do I experience? By raising my self-awareness. For the physical perception, sense organs are enough. But then that is why I close the eyes. Why? To raise my awareness. But not only that, let us move the mind within. Moving the mind within, that simply means, my friends, rise in awareness. I have told you that moving the mind within does not, what do I see inside the body? The bones, flesh, etc., etc. No. But we rise in awareness. Then what do we see? Just an emptiness or a blankness or a darkness. That is okay. Then what I said is space is awareness and awareness is the space. Oh, this awareness is the space and the space is awareness. The entire body from now being carefree. I have explained the lane one, unwanted thoughts, feeling. Thoughts, they enter from the back door. Do you know the reason why they enter from the back door? That is what we discussed today. Likes and dislikes, joy and this sorrow, delusion plus the world, reality, status, ignorance. That is why the lane one is active. You don't want to make it active, but it is all the time it is active. Even during the deep sleep, that we will talk later. So that is the lane one. So what I am doing, I'm not, in a way, I'm not doing anything. I become aware of the lane two. I observe. I become an observer. I become the knower. The moment I give a status to the mind, a status of a knower, I separate myself from the lane one, which is an unwanted thought. Not only that, I jump into the lane three. That is why all meditation and all mindfulness are known as effortless journey. Who can make that effortless journey? Who is the highest level of a seeker? But because we have created trillions of impressions of likes and dislikes in the thought, speech, and the action level, we have to show it to a new path. And that is where the role of the mantra comes. It is just kind of a remembering. Do you want to say prayer? Yes, prayer is just an attitude. that is hidden in the mantra. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Let everyone be happy. Are you applying the conventional approach also? You see? Are you doing the mantra also? Are you doing the prayer also? Prayer means remembering. Don't go into that religious format of the prayer. Just by creating a thought, I recall, I remember. Let everyone be happy. But why? How? Where? When? Simple answer. Happiness is my essential nature. And what is the conventional approach here? Oh, happiness is my essential nature. I am a conscious being. Hence, happiness is the essential nature of everyone, starting from the near and the dear ones to the far in the entire cosmos. My mind has to perceive why to drop that sense of delusion. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Let there be peace for all. So you see that there is no other language that can be summarized except this one. Let everyone be in peace. To masses, it conveys that peace is my essential need. First, I put mind on alertness, that don't go to search peace with the likes and dislikes. I have given many meanings of the same mantra. Do you remember all of them? You're the higher seeker. Peace is my essential nature, and peace is the essential nature of every living being. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Intentionally, I gave an example of a tree who becomes the seed, becomes a tree, always connecting, contributing, celebrating her life. I cannot celebrate my life with a big ego, supported by, you remember, supported by likes and dislikes, joy and sorrow, delusion, reality, status. Now you remember all. So why, from where in this mantra, where this means that tree experiences the fullness by connecting, contributing, and celebrating. Fullness. And that is what the wholeness is. Let there be a completeness in me. With that false identity of ego, I cannot experience that sense of fullness. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Mangalam, auspiciousness. I enter into auspiciousness. I here means commander in chief, the mind, the sense of separative identity. That the moment you enter into the auspiciousness, you dissolve it. You dissolve it. There is no likes and dislikes. Or it will die its natural death. But we will not stop here because we all are seekers. So we will purify the mind. Again, look inside the forehead, my friends, in the space there you drop Om Shanti. Gently, you drop the Om Shanti. You see the space, Om Shanti, and then start breathing. Quick and short breath from the chest through both the nostrils. And continue the journey. Your mind will say during the middle, oh, this is too much. Too much means you dislike it. In the beginning, you liked it. Ah, I have to become aware of that fact. I never thought like this. You see? So you have to examine when the mind says, no, I don't like, I cannot do it. Ah, because you dislike it. But why you liked it in the beginning? Let me continue. It is going to make me a seeker, and you continue the journey. So you can contemplate and reflect. No worries. And stop it. Do nothing. Recognize, accept the changes, experiences, vision, and the colors. The mantra before was totally a passive step to get the same result as the breathing gets. But everyone's temperament is different here in this group. So I added both, and you have to follow both to recognize which works the best, and the mind dislikes the other. So we have to get rid of that disliking through awareness. Om Shanti continues deep inside the forehead in the space and start breathing from the belly through both the nostrils. It's a longer breath, and you continue. You reject the objections of the mind that wants to run on the like and dislike. What you need an endurance. What you need in the mantra aspect, you need only an awareness. But both works and you get the same result. Make it. I'm making it very simple. It's a longer breath. Do you remember expansion of the belly and the squeezing of the belly has to be done in this second type of the breath, whereas Om Shanti continues. So, what I have done, I have added the passive step and I have added the active step. Why? To confuse the mind, which has been confusing since our birth. There are other factors also. Scientific, they are not valid for the speaker. Only the belly breathing, Om Shanti at the emotional level. You know, you're tackling the mind. You say, mind, you have been making me crazy. Now it's your time. Who does it? Intellect. How it does it? Through awareness and attention. What it notices, the body remains in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The breathing continues into the belly. You continue to watch the expansion and the contraction of the belly, and gently you are dropping Om Shanti. Many pointed awareness. All are the play of the awareness. Answer is yes, my friend. Less to do with the breathing. And then why I'm breathing, I will answer later. Not now. Keep on. And stop this, do nothing. So when you are in a state of doing nothing, you are aware. You are aware of the changes. Awareness is what? Knowledge and experience that is taking place at this time. You can share it and you can ask the questions later. Let us go on Om Shanti inside the forehead and start breathing, combining both the belly and the chest. Long, deep in the hissing breath. Long, deep in the hissing breath through both the nostrils. In the sometime your mind may complain, my nostrils are blocked. The time will come any time when you start these three-step breathing. The mind will trigger you to another level of awareness. How much it is blocked, it will open during the practice. What is that indication? You are a seeker. That happens, yes, that happens. Continue long, deep in the hissing. And stop this. Do nothing. Recognize, accept the changes, the experiences that is happening now. You simply let these experiences come and let these experiences go. Not a single experience continues. Why? They belong to the body, mind, intellect, and the ego, based on the likes and dislikes, joy and the sorrow. Real self is behind that. So now you're looking deep inside the cave of your heart. Visualize an equilateral triangle pointing upward of any color of your choice. No issue. Even if you say no color, color is already there. Then what you do, three-pointed awareness, you move the mind on one side of a triangle, you see this side, you move the mind on a triangle, and you drop Om Shanti. Then you move on the second side, third side, clockwise, anti-clockwise, gently, with awareness, giving a pause. And once you discover that you are able to sync Om Shanti, movement of the mind, and the side of a triangle. Sync means a kind of an absorption. The moment that very moment is very precious and important. That moment you look at the center of the triangle. Now you see, I always make a statement, I'm making you aware. You push the mind by singing Om mentally. So when you're Om and the mind is being pushed inside the triangle to the cave of your heart, and then become aware, mind seemingly stops. The moment seemingly stops, you drop the Shanti, you have a conscious self absorption. You're listening to me as if I'm too far. You're aware. Knowledge is intact. But that is a state of self absorption, my friends. And leave this last step. I will explain. Couple of people are new here. There are 16 points in the four fingers, starting from the base, then the second point, then the third line, and the fourth one is the top of the, or you can say the tip of the finger. What we are doing, the mind's eyes are closed. So the mind eye looks at the first index finger at the base. Mind's skin touch that. You don't touch. The mind's tongue speaks Om Shanti, and the mind's ear hear it. What it. Then you move to the second point. Om Shanti. Third point ocean. Fourth point ocean. What exactly we are consciously doing, if I say so, we are keeping all those sense organs into the field of awareness in the mind itself. How come and why? Sense organs open to the world outside. It is one sided window. Then, if we don't allow the sense organ to open to the world outside, it merges completely with the mind, with a clarity, conviction. What happens? The mind starts moving into the higher planes of consciousness. Keep on, continue. The 16 points you complete, you repeat it. Mind is mind's eye is looking. I'm specifically saying. I can also say mind is looking, mind is feeling, mind is touching, but that will make not a good sense in this journey. Shanti results into a deeper experience. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. If you have any question, concern, you can address that in your share while sharing. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Very good experience for me. The message at the beginning, right at the very beginning, was sort of planted a seed for the balance of the meditation that allowed me to be very just clear, third lane,
Yeah.
just open space. Very peaceful.
Beautiful. Just open space, you rightly said. Third in. We are always living in the third in. We don't recognize. So when we do not recognize, that is what the ignorance is. How it can be removed by the self-inquiry. How are you, Gary?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Really deep meditation. I feel completely absorbed, and I feel like you just gave us the fruits of living wisely and how to do it in that one lesson. Like I feel like if I just go back to this lesson every day for the rest of my journey, I'll get it. It's like in the Gita, and I think that the last few lessons, that if our action culminates in wisdom, and it should always culminate in wisdom, then our actions are never about our ego or what we like or dislike, but our actions are always about what's right and good. And so sometimes I think we get confused, or maybe when I'm listening, I'm like, oh, well, we shouldn't react. Well, we shouldn't react, but we should respond. So
Right.
we should respond to the ignorance that we find sometimes in our own relationships. And when it comes up, we go, thank you. I guess we need to work on that. So
Yes.
it's a gift. And so that's how I think that we respond to it, instead of like reacting and lashing out. But we go, oh, it's thank you for this. And we can evolve and become better.
Beautiful, Jerry. I am silently developing these topics to go to the Gita, the main text of the entire Eastern wisdom. It summarizes everything. So, what you have said, I'm reflecting on this. My intellect, my awareness should testify that I'm not giving a reality status to the outside that causes the suffering. So even my action converts into an awareness, living in awareness. That we need to understand. What Gita says, I'm bringing back it again and again. Karma yoga, we say action, how to perform an action. So that action or karma yoga is in Gita is explained as intellect yoga. What it means, am I aware? Am I aware that I bypass the likes and dislikes? And now I'm living in the world consciously. Beautiful sharing your experiences. Stephen, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. I agree with David and Jerry with everything that they said. My meditation was extremely quiet, deep, and absorbed. Moments that I recall from it. A lot of the start all started right here, very focused here, and as you started chanting the Sarve Sham, everything just started the space, it disappeared. It was nothing. I was just part of a very large space. And I recall what at the very end of the Sarve Sham, it was a ball of white light that just was within my space, and I was not moved by it. I saw it and recognized it and just let it go. And then from there, I just felt my inner body get really warm and my outer body get really cold. And I think it's at that point I just stared at it and then, okay. And then it was just a struggle to come out of meditation. So it was just great.
That is the success when we struggle to come out of the meditation. Just it came to my mind, I will talk in detail about that. That when we see the ball of white light, it is the sattvic nature. There are three gunas, three qualities of the mind: sattvic, rajasic, and 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 tamasic. So tamasic is full of ignorance, the rajasic is full of activity, sattvic is pure knowledge. So sometimes it reflects as a white light, and then you linked that white light with the coolness inside and warmth outside. I think I heard you correctly. Opposite. It is just
Warmth inside. It was warmth inside and cold outside.
warmth inside. So the warmth inside and the coolness outside. So they also symbolically represents the quality, the higher quality of the mind. And that is why you said that you had a self-absorption. So I'm going to cover those experiences so that we will have no ignorance based on the teaching. By the way, Jerry said, what I teach, no, I don't teach anything. With all humility, I teach from these teachings and the knowledge of the masters. Thank you, Jerry. So how are you, Brandy? Where are you? Yes.
I'm here. I'm fine. So I think your explanation and reminder of the gunas is helping me understand kind of what happened in my meditation too, based on what everybody's shared out so far. At a moment, you're talking about like true self-absorption where I felt that, and I realized that the tricks that the mind presents are like a false self-absorption. And it's easy to,
Yes.
run down those.
So the tricks the mind presents with reference to the world in terms of experiences contains the dualities and the likes and dislikes is the problem.
Right. And it's like everything that we always come to, this separateness or separating from that into this space that is not that, which is the self-absorption, which is the meditation, which is
Yes.
the real
And
thing.
once we live into that beautiful narration that you have, and once we continue to live in that one, second is that it takes a fraction of a second to get self-absorbed, looking at the challenges outside to then we can go deeper than that. That is what we are looking for. Beautiful. Thank you, my friend. How are you, Sam?
I'm good. I also really appreciated the reminder about making sure our actions are right and good, not necessarily what we like. It makes things easier when it's, when there's a reminder, and that's good. As far as meditation goes, I feel like I always have a more pleasant experience when I'm sitting outside. Not necessarily why, but it's good. And also, I'm trying to make sure, when I get comfortable, instead of, leaning over and slumping in the couch, sitting up straight and making sure that I'm in
That is
good
better.
posture also feels a lot better on the body.
I never wanted to say you have been practicing. There are individual differences. I always wanted you to sit and practice meditation, but you have been doing it while laying down. So I always observe and watch that the moment you go deeper into the meditation, the mind returns. Mind says, no, I have to do it while sitting. That is another sign of the progress. I will definitely comment that you appreciated in the very beginning of these principles, the action-oriented principles. I will not comment on that when you sit outside, then your meditation is better. I have yet to understand what is outside and what is inside. So you have to contemplate and reflect. So how are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. I didn't sleep very well last night, so when we started the meditation, I was very tired and I was afraid I was going to fall asleep. But by the time we got to the japa, I felt very, very absorbed, but very alert at the same time.
Good,
And now I'm not tired at all.
good, good. So there was no impact of disturbed sleep that you had last night.
No, none. No.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Another point I want to share, Barbara and Sam, you see that there is an individual trait. The Barbara always, and majority of you always does the practice while sitting. It does not mean that if I find some challenges in the body, I should not do the practice while laying down. So there is no fixed rule about it. What it comes down to, it depends on my level of awareness. That we need to recognize. Yes, we will go to Terry.
Hi. I couldn't see the triangle.
Better?
There was a lot of, clouds and lights and things in the way.
Good.
And I was surprised how the sounds, the X from outside me,
Yeah.
seemed very loud. So they kept really pulling my attention outside, and my I think of it like a little, my mind, I guess you'd call it. It was like a little brat. It was like fighting.
Okay.
It didn't want to let me meditate. And I was trying to ignore it, and it was like going, no, So it was just
You see, your body was not moving, the mind was struggling inside. That is what we discussed today. That when we have one light in this life, we have minimum millions of impressions that is accumulated in the mind that keeps on giving a reality status to the world outside. Remember, my friend, understand it here. You wake up in the morning and you look at the world. I think I discussed about it. You look at the world, you remember so-called your honey, the mind has already given a reality status because you are not aware. And from there, the journey of the likes and dislikes start. And it accumulates millions of impressions. And those millions of impressions return during the practice of meditation. That is what you said, it does not allow you to do it. So let it come. Do nothing. In those moments, simply do nothing. Be a dispassionate observer. You can understand. Beautiful. Thank you, my friend. And how are you, Christina?
Very well. Thank you very much. By the end of the meditation, I was fully absorbed and lots of yawning in the beginning. It made me think of my dog who yawns to discharge some energy.
Okay.
And I really like that sense of like the false absorption versus the real absorption, and almost real eye versus false eye. It really landed for me too today. So I appreciate those comments.
Very good, Christina. Yes, the greater the recognition of the false eye and the real eye will help us to go deeper. And that is beautiful. Let me move to Janice and introduce Janice. Janice translates, I give a one group program to the Ukrainians. So Janice translates and has been translating perhaps for the last 10 years. Yes.
About that much, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Dennis, what is your experience? I'm sorry, I did not invite you in this session. I should have invited you much before.
Oh, that's okay, Guruji. Thank you for inviting me. It was a very peaceful experience. I did not have any visions nor colors, but I could see the triangle very clearly, which is quite surprising because usually I don't see these things. But today
That's
I was kind of surprised myself. How could that be happening?
How is that possible?
Yeah,
I
but
did magic to you, so it
yeah,
happened.
right. Thank you. And and I was able to move the my awareness on the sides. It was very clear uh, way of recognition that my awareness was moving on the sides of this triangle. I didn't experience any destructions. I mean, I could experience what is happening outside and all the sounds and everything. I could hear them, but they did not distract the mind from doing the practice. And the mind felt like remaining into the practice, didn't want to come out.
Did want to come out, and that is obviously a pointer to the success. You see, one thing, sometime it's like a surprise element is there always in meditation. So you are absorbed into meditation, you don't want to come out, but still we are not conscious of that state deeper inside. And that takes time. Why we are not conscious of that state? Because of the impurities, ignorance, impressions, and because also the lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. Best part, what he is saying, that he is not distracted, that I know him very well for the last 10 years. And he is extremely rational. That is also very interesting for you to listen to his experiences. So from extra rational level, we can still move to the higher state of meditation. Like you are, like Stephen, Brandy, Davin, Jerry, we all are. So it is better. Keep on sharing. Thank you. How are you, Anastasia? Now it's your turn.
Thank you. I'm good. It was very quick meditation and the lesson, and I've been doing this absorption. I've been absorbing this, and I've noticed how how many projections my mind does due to likes and dislikes, even to people that I don't know them. It's like a big insight for me. Like my mind creates a lot of stories and scenario, like I don't know, Spielberg's mind, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good level of awareness that you recognize your mind is projecting the story. That is what the delusion is. Just to point out, you have to think of it. What is absorption? It is objectless state of the mind. There is no object. So why there is no object? Because the mind has not divided into object and subject. So when I symbolically say that become aware of the infinite space all around you and inside you, basically it is an objectless state. And the mind has an ability to live into that objectless state all the time. Why only in meditation? That much I'm saying. So now come to Sangeeta, think of it.
सर बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत पीसफुल था, सबने बहुत अच्छा बोला है, उनमें से कुछ कुछ एक्सपीरियंस होते हैं जैसे।
Yeah, a couple of people who have narrated their experiences. She has the same experience. So that is very good. So please, my friends, think of the conventional approach. Think, just constantly think, what is this like in this life? Joy in this sorrow. Then joy and sorrow comes from the objects outside. That makes me worthy of the suffering. And when I am deeply attached, for example, to someone, then my mind focuses on that guy or a girl the whole day. Then what happens? "Ah, I have today a bad day. Why? Because that guy was entering into my mind. Who allowed the entry? Who allowed the entry? No, some unseen forces allowed the entry. And that's where you become crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be rational. That is all for today. Thank you. And tell me that if the audio is clear, I got a new camera. So, new camera, if everything is okay, I will keep this.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's good. Okay. Thanks.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Stay.